Good morning and welcome to a new episode of JFC Hollywood and Friends. Today we have like a super special guest, a super special friend, I would like to call him. Okay, so let me introduce who's going to join me today to talk about Juventus and talking about what happened with Italy and a little bit about Copa America maybe as well. So with me today, as always, Giulio. Hi, Giulio. Good morning.
Hey guys, hey everybody.
We have Billone from Santa Barbara. Hi, Bill. How are you?
Very good.
And last but not least, we have a super special guest today, and so happy to have them here with me today, with us actually. Sorry, Josh from
Ciao,
Puebla.
guys. How are you? Such a pleasure being here.
So we have a tradition, Josh.
Good.
So when new people join this community, let me say like that, we would like to ask him what was his favorite Juventus
Juventus player.
player and Juventus coach.
Ooh. I mean, it's hard not to say Del Piero for favorite player, but I played defense when I used to still play football or soccer, however you want to say it. So I always had a very soft spot for Paulo Montero because I liked his grinta, his
Wow.
and very
Nice.
intenseness. He was also Latin American. So he was a Latin American that loved Juventus, that played my position. So I always loved him. And obviously seeing him as a coach was a wonderful thing. Because it just, I got to relive all that, kind of my own dreams of, of wanting to play for Juventus, which never happened, of course. And my favorite coach, Trapattoni. I
Wow.
Yeah, I
So
barely got to see, mostly as a national team and stuff like that. The Trapattoni of Juventus that I got to see was mainly for replays, but his philosophy, his method of reaching out to players, of influencing them, the football he played, what he meant for Juventus at that time in our history was incredible. It's hard not to put him in my top.
Guys, I have an issue. Are you able to log in the YouTube? Actually, I don't know if are we live because from my computer I'm receiving an error. I don't know if it's happening to you guys. So if you can check, you make me a favor.
Let
Maybe
me
it's
see.
just my
We
network.
are live.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, and that's two cool actually picks, Josh. Really, really.
so Joshua, were you on the bandwagon of keeping Montero as a coach?
No, no, no. No, no. No, no, no. I mean, I appreciate him. I love the guy. He obviously has an incredible passion for our team, but I believe in progression, in build up. I think what he's doing, the way that he's growing within Juventus, is fantastic. His youth, his Primavera sub 19 coaching was okay. It wasn't the greatest results, but he was instrumental in a lot of the players that grew up and are playing with next gen. So it'll be really nice to see that progression of him within the next gen as well. And why not, 5 years from now or so, have him as the main coach. I
Right.
think it's important to have that. At this time, it was too early. I thank him for coming in, stepping up for those 2 games. It was awesome to see it and live it with him, but I think he himself knows that the process is worthwhile as well. I
May I
wouldn't
say
want to
something?
see like a Pirlo. I think we pushed Pirlo too fast.
I agree.
May I say something
Yep.
about the youth coach? I think it's not about the trophies they lift. It's about how many players they can bring to the first team.
Hmm.
And I feel like what you said, in our youth team, they're doing a great job. I think about that. It's not about winning the Primavera Scudetto or the Champions League under 23. I don't think that is important. It's important bringing player like Ildiz into the team. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have a point over there. We definitely need to. Well, if you want, we can start about talking about what happened yesterday. But yes, but we need to forget that the youth team basically are not for winning title with the youth, with the Primavera, with the Lievi, with everybody. We need to create players that eventually are going to be like sellable for us, or they can be added to the main team. And actually, it looks like it's what they're doing right now at the moment. So
It's perfect right now.
yeah, it's perfect because we were able to really for example, we just see that we signed Douglas Luiz. Signing Douglas Luiz without the next gen would have been impossible because Baranechea and Ealing, yeah, they come from that. They come from like the youth system. I know that we got like Baranechea actually he suffered like a couple of really big injury, but without them, we were not able to get Douglas Luiz. So
yeah, let's say that the investment for those two players probably was around 4 million, and now they've been worth 40. So
yeah,
this is the value you create having a youth team situation that helps the first team.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we tend to romanticize, right, the youth and growing up because of the players that we've had, right? Because of Chiellini also started with the youth, and grande. Obviously Del Piero, he started very young as well. There wasn't an next gen back then or anything like that, but we tend to romanticize that, right? Marquisio is obviously one, but I think
one of the few.
But he's made a couple of mistakes recently. I would have to say.
I wouldn't say more than one.
But in reality, part of having a second team is for this. I mean, ask Barcelona. Barcelona supposedly have the greatest, school for football in the Masia. 75% of those guys never see Barcelona first team. They are all a part of a transaction to increase funds, to bring the people that they need for the first team. Sure, it's a little bit less romantic, but it's part of the game, and not everybody can make the first team.
Exactly. But the point is having like people that eventually you're gonna get like they're gonna become. Thank you, Stefania. And eventually they're gonna be brought to our team, or maybe they're gonna give it the chance to be, because then people need to be like be good and lucky. Okay, because maybe we can have like a player that are really good, but they don't make out their occasion, they get injured, so we'll see. So I'm kind of like last year I tried to follow a little bit more the next gen. I was able to watch I think all the playoff game and some of the league game. Okay, I think that Brambilla did a great job, especially because in the beginning of the year he should have counted on like people like Sule, Heisen, the player, and then he basically they were moved to the first team, and so we were not doing that good until like Christmas, and then they basically revolutionized the team, and they have like a fantastic run, because like if you think that they lost against Canadese, that actually was promoted to Serie B, but Canadese like they're like an old team really with a lot of experience, and we'll see. But now we're gonna be relegated to the Girone C, so basically we're gonna play against all the team like south of Rome and Island. I don't know if like there is a team from Sardinia, but for sure the team from Sicily.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be tough.
3 teams for Sicily.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a party for people in Sicily that are Juventus fan, I think.
Yeah, my cousin. I was talking to my cousin. He was stoked because now he can see, the Juventus next gen playing.
Where they're gonna play?
Catania, Messina, and Trapani.
Yeah, big cities also.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. But Catania probably is gonna be like 20,000 people at least.
And we have a former Trapani player with our club. Actually, that would be fun.
We do.
Yes. Torres. Okay, Stefani. But the logistics is going to be hell. And the one look,
expensive too.
I was in a kind of an argument with the Italian people a little bit ago. Okay, because they drew this year with Milan joining the under 23 team. And there is like three
under 23 game. Yeah.
And
Atalanta.
Yeah, exactly. Milan, Atalanta, and Juventus, and they cannot be in the same league. Okay, so they had to draw who's going to be the Girone A, that is like North Italy, Girone B, that is like middle of Italy, and Girone C, that is south of Italy and Ireland. And of course, we lost. We were the lucky to win the draw with the Girone C. I'm sure. I don't know. I'm gonna say that. It's curious. Let me say that curious. I don't want to cry because I know Bill is gonna call me like a crybaby. But last year we were 2 and we got the Girone B. This year we're 3, we got the Girone C. Next year someone joined. He wanted the Guinea send to Kazakhstan. I don't know. So
yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence. But,
exactly. And then another one joined the chat, and I'm sorry to talk about personal stuff. I said, yeah, but because you're so powerful, like the big team in Italy, so powerful, like Milan, Inter, and Juventus, always complaining. And I said, hey, why are you so? And I think it's a conversation I had with Giulio, and Giulio had a great point. If you wanted, we can. If we are so powerful, why we were the only relegated in 2006, and we were penalized last year for the capital gains thing?
Like, why we are the only one that gets screwed over and over? Even with the next gen, if we're so powerful, why are we not on the Girone A instead of C, since we're so powerful?
Right.
It shows quite the opposite about this power thing that people talk about.
What Stefania just said?
What? Oh, sorry.
She said something about relegation.
Yeah, then now the under 23 team can be relegated to Serie D.
Wow.
Yeah, until last year that was not possible. Now we can go up and down. Yeah.
Oh, now they can.
Yeah. Now they can.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a big change.
Exactly. We're gonna be sent to Kazakhstan, I guess, Donato. But probably we're gonna join
even this what Donato's saying is an example of that supposed powerfulness that we don't have. Because if we think about why is Atalanta now there? Why is Milan there? And why Juventus started the U23 team, 5-7 years ago? I don't know. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
If we were this powerful, we would have started the system in order to benefit us when we put the U23 team. The U23 team for Juventus has cost way more to start up and get it funded and put into practice than what Atalanta and Milan have, because now FIGC and the system has made it possible for first team teams to have second teams. Back then, there wasn't anything in the books. We pretty much, kind of created the road, which is something that the federation should do, and then teams follow. But we created the road, and then the federation came and made it simple for the other two teams to start. So.
And is our role also? We were supposed to be that way.
Yes, I agree.
When we started, we were supposed to be like a lot of people were supposed to follow us, and everybody withdrew their proposals. We were the only one doing it. Okay, and actually we were hidden. I see game in Serie C that were during Lega Pro that were actually they were like, well, they don't always talk shit about us. Okay, but they were talking shit about. And I don't understand why you want to have a team. And they're like, I think we play against. We lost against the Carrarese, but we beat with Casertana. I think Casertana is like an overall age as 31 or 32 years old. Come on. I know Donato is gonna start with his love with against the Gravina. So
I actually don't agree with Donato on that. Because having the youth teams playing in the Serie C with teams that are fighting actually to go to Serie B for real, it gives them a different type of growth and experience than just competing competing with kids like themselves, So I actually think it's a way better as an investment to have these teams in those tougher tournaments.
And also in Serie C, we always have more time to fix the team. In January, you buy 3 or 4 players to fix the team, like it's what happened with us last year with the striker that we have. It was one of the few guys that was overturned. Yeah.
But
it's for Piacenza Guerra.
Marsiglia is considering. Yeah. Marsiglia and other teams, the guy, what's his name? Gonge, I don't know how they pronounce it. Nonge. Because they played in a tough tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a tough tournament. I don't want to say it's as tough as could be Ligue 1 in France, but I mean it's tough. So we're there. That's why they will consider
And
them.
no,
Right,
no VAR. So you
Right,
get when
right,
you get punched for real.
right, right.
I, I,
So
I agree with you, Giulio. I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think that for a player, because there is a gap between the and if you're a player at 21 years old and you play in a Primavera team that was happening right now in Italy, it's not gonna you're not gonna benefit anything. You need to play a real league. When you are 18, that's gonna make your game better. Playing
Right.
against old people, like the 26, 27, 28, that is the one you're gonna see if you can be like a real player or be
right.
like a
Yeah, we already have the Primavera
yeah. But
tournaments.
the Primavera, for example, is ridiculous. At 21 years old, you should be
Right, you should be already like playing professionally, because it doesn't give the growth that they need unless the
yeah.
first team sees something in them, brings them in the first squad, and then it starts the whole thing.
Do you
So
know
yeah,
about what happened yesterday? We should have a team of only Italian of the Italian Federation playing at the level in Serie C without relegation, and to try to see if there's under 20, under 17, under 18, under 19 players that develop by the federal system and be the best talent, go up and play with the real players.
I agree. So let's go back a little bit in the actual news. So today we woke up and finally we made the signing was official. I think so. We signed Douglas Luiz. Say they say the amount of what we pay for him. It's official. I think so. At the end we pay like 50 million. Okay, so it's a player that by transfer market was I think valued between 65 and 70. We know that Aston Villa has to sell them, so we were kind of lucky. Okay, and I think we got it should be like a 28 cash plus Ealing and Baranechea. I think
Depends
Josh,
on the bonus, but yeah, between
yeah.
25 and 28. Yeah.
So and we announced even the signing of his girlfriend and another girl for the Juventus women. So probably and we know that the women need to be the team need to be rebuilt or reloaded. So this is the first official announcement, I think, because Di Gregorio is not official yet. Okay, so it looks like we are heading in the good direction. So I'm gonna start with Josh because Julie and Bill we already know. We already talk about that. So you probably know better than me, Douglas Luiz. So are you happy about this signing?
I'm very happy. To be honest, I don't watch Premier League too much. What I knew from him was from the Brazilian national team. But then, because he started sounding, I started looking a little bit. But he is a midfielder that can score, something that we've been missing for a couple of years. A midfielder that is very good with assists, a midfielder with a little bit of art in his play. And I think him arriving, plus now we recover Fagioli, it's gonna even help midfielders that last year weren't so good, like Locatelli. I expect Locatelli to actually look better this year compared to last year because of the people that are going to be surrounding him. We'll see what happens with Rabiot, but that's a separate conversation. I think the transaction per se was could have been flawless if we would have done the McKennie part of the deal. It was still a very good transaction with Barrenechea, but and I say that not because I hate McKennie or anything like that, but because the contractual situation made it so that Giuntoli was getting an incredible amount of value for players that were about to expire their contracts and did not want to renew. With Barrenechea, we still get good value, but he had a few more years. We have a percentage of future sales, etc., but still, I would have thought if the McKennie piece, would have been part of this full deal, it would have been a flawless transaction in my book. It's still a great transaction, and I think Ealing Jr. will do very well at Aston Villa as well. I think the Italian league is not for him. I love the player. I think he has some good potential, but in the Italian league, you can't only have one foot. Like, that's just not possible. You have to be able to kick with both, and speed is not going to be the only solution that you have. In you know in the English league, I think you can get away with that a little bit more. We'll see Barrenechea. I think he's a very fair player. He had very unlucky situation with his injuries. I would have been curious to see him under Motta, but it didn't pan out.
Guys, you want to add anything? I already talked many times about this, but I wasn't, I wasn't a fan of Eiling. Okay, so but on the chest, honestly, I'm still like, I don't know what it can become. So I don't know if you like the signing. You think we could have been better? You think like we gonna kick out McKenny?
No, but McKenny didn't want to go because my opinion is what he's trying to do is go to the free market. So he's gonna basically in this kind of situation all year with us, because if we don't move to Aston Villa, that is going to Champions League, where we can give you a better place to go. And I don't think he wants that. He want to go at the end of the contract and get the free agency signing bonus and stuff like that. So unfortunately, it's the way it is. It would be the perfect scenario to sell McKenny and Healing. But like we talking about before, developing player for the youth level and selling them and giving their great value is, to me, is amazing. It makes all worth it, all the investment we did with under 23.
Giulio?
I think so. Three things. McKenny, I think, overplayed his hand. Actually, I don't think he wanted to go at the end. I think he thought he had leverage. Without me, they can't make this deal happen. So I'm gonna squeeze every penny out of them. Adjuntoli being somebody that doesn't take that, it just right away put him on the side, brought in Barrenechea, and now McKenny's left with not many options. So I think that's what actually happened there. Also, Barrenechea and Ealing Jr., I mean, honestly, I never really particularly cared for Barrenechea. So we saw him playing with Frosinone, who went to Serie B, and I mean, I don't know if it's Juve material. Ealing Jr., again, same thing, like some good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. So overall, making like 25 million, I don't know, 30 out of these two guys. I mean, it's all good for us. And if they do well there, good for them. We still get 10% from future sales. So I think it's a great deal. Douglas Luiz, I think they needed somebody that had more personality to begin with. That's why they're bringing him in. It looks like he would do probably at least similar position what Locatelli was doing, but with better vision, better feet. It looks like he can do a little bit of everything. It's not really good at one specific thing. So he's also very versatile. I think that's why Motta wanted him here. Now it's going to be interesting to see where he places him and with who to have a better idea. But it looks like right now the type of player that will benefit from Motta and Motta from him. So we'll see.
I have a question. So everybody's talking right now. So we got the goalie, we got the first midfield, okay, and So it looks like we're on the path to signing cup minors. At least it looked like we are trying to deal with Atalanta. We know it's not it's not an easy thing, okay, and we look like, let's say we already signed Kefren Thuram, okay, and at this moment, and I'm gonna tag along with this thing that Stefania was saying earlier, okay? Because if we sign a cup minus to Thuram and Douglas Luiz, basically these are our three midfielder, okay? So we see that I think we have some really talented player as a young player, okay? So in this moment, I think Fagioli needs to be a starter for us. First of all, because it's going to be 23, 24 next year, okay? So it's not really super young anymore, okay? So at this moment,
He's mature.
Yeah, he's mature. Exactly. So, and yes, it is start for our national team. Okay, we're going to talk later about the national team. Okay, so if we set up minors, Fagioli basically is going to be a bench, unless we're going to play like the 4-3-1-2. Okay, where Fagioli can be a mezzala or be playing behind the two striker. So I really would like to see Fagioli as a star, because if we have this young player, we need to let them play. Otherwise, we cannot always be wanting the exotic guy or the new signing because he's going to make more excited like in July or in August. To me, Fagioli needs to be a starter, period. You need to get given a chance. So I don't know what you guys think about that. I'm going to start with Julia. We go in reverse.
I think we need to look at this from a different point of view.
And sorry, Giulio. And then, yes, exactly. Talking with Sule. If we keep Sule, to me, it needs to be one of the main guys.
And again, what I'm saying applies to Sule too. I think we need to look at this in a different way. We need to stop looking at it as the starting 11. We have 5 competitions. Okay. If you want to be a top level team, you need to have top players on the bench and on the field. So the bench needs to be quality. It can't be somebody that you just a warm body that you needed there and come in when the main guy is injured. So Fagioli needs to be there. It needs to be one that starts. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes maybe Douglas Luiz is going to sit on the bench and starts Fagioli. But there's going to be room for everyone to play. And we need more than 3 good players, so I don't see a problem. And same thing goes with Sule and Chiesa and Ildit. We need more than 2 wingers that are good. You need 3, 3.5. So the 4th maybe can be, but you need 3 good of them, because one gets injured, then what we're going to play with? Champions League, Coppa Italia, Supercoppa, the World Cup for clubs, Serie A. I mean, you need players, and if you want to win, you need good players everywhere. So I don't see it as a problem.
What? Billo?
Yeah, I agree 100%. We have to have 23 players. There's going to be minutes for everybody, and going back to the style of playing of Thiago Motta, even last year with a team that was playing only the league, he basically had the 3 key players that were playing all the time: Zirze, Ferguson, and Fowler. Even Skorupski as a goalie was changing some time.
Yep.
So he was doing a lot of turnover with just the league. And now we're going to play every 3 days. So you're going to add back in rotation, and going back to what Joshua was saying before about Locatelli, it's going to be good for Locatelli too. He's not going to play every game if he stays. If we can find a situation we can sell him, okay, goodbye. But if he stays and he play less, it's going to be better for him. Yeah. Like everybody else. You got to play when you're fresh and have an option in that role, in particular in midfield. You have to be fresh.
Now, 100% agree with both Giulio and Billo. I would just add the piece of it's going to be very different from last year. And again, I don't want to open any Pandora's box, but when you turn and you look at your bench and you see, Nonje and very Ealing Jr., whatever, in your bench, and you don't really have the alternatives. Now, Thiago Motta will be able to turn and see Fagioli, Thuram, Locatelli, Coop Miners, whatever. Because I do think Miretti might go.
Don't touch my Miretti, please.
I think he might be loaned out for a little bit. But anyway,
I agree.
But, we need to have quality in the bench. That's one of the biggest issues that we've had these past few years. It was beyond our own fault for not being able to increase the quality in the bench, but the player that comes from the bench and substitute a starting player must be at least very close to the same level of quality. And that is key, especially when you're going to be competing, because I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but the work that Giuntoli is doing, the work that Juventus are doing, even utilizing the youth in order to get these players, they're sending a very clear message. This year, yes, the objectives will be to qualify for the Champions League, go next round in the Champions League, Coppa Italia, etc. But they're sending a very clear message. We need to be very competitive this year. We're going to give it our all to be able to win, which I don't think was the same last year.
And if I might add one thing, to all of this, we keep talking about youth and young people, players playing and growing. they're not going to grow if they play with the young players they played in the under
You're right.
23. That they need to be in the team of champions. So Fagioli hasn't done that yet. He hasn't done it yet. Who is he learning from? You know, I mean, he has the talent, but like there are things you need to be taught. And I think you can learn from Douglas Luiz, maybe Cook Miners, I don't know. Now Thiago Motta, I don't know. But so we need to, you know, see the bigger picture.
I think you're definitely right. But I'm gonna open the Pandora's box. So that means that we're adding like a 8-9 new players. Okay, so that means that last year team wasn't that great, and I'm gonna close the Pandora's box. Okay, because we wanna go. So you guys, are we ready to pay 60 million for Cup Miners?
No. Well, I mean, we might end up playing it, but it's gonna come from sales. I think Huijsen is pretty much a sale.
So
they're not gonna pay.
Who is in 30 million? Who is in 25?
Or Huijsen gets sold somewhere, and that money will be turned around to pay part of it. But I think 60 is too much. I think Giuntoli was very
way
lucky.
too much.
I think Giuntoli and Juventus were very lucky that Cup Miners got injured and didn't go to the Euros.
But I will wait and be like, Atalanta, but do you have somebody that's coming give you the money? So show me.
Right, exactly.
Just show me if you have somebody that tells that is trying to give you the money.
And I'm gonna same thing for Calafiori, because I would love to get him.
Yeah.
I think I would love to get him. I think 25-30 million, it's more than a reasonable price for him.
Agreed.
And it's not my issue if Bologna, when they deal with the Basilea, with Basel, FC Basel, they had that they added the 50 million. So I don't, unless like Arsenal or Tottenham are coming and pay like 60 million, but I think they're gonna be like a bad choice for the kid actually. I think if the kid actually and if they want to come with us, but I think if you want to make like another step, he needs to come to us.
No, but why Arsenal is a bad choice?
Because I think as a defender, I think it's going to be better for him staying in Serie A. Probably
because you see like as Juventus way better than Arsenal.
No.
Arsenal is a great team too, man.
No,
so why wouldn't be
no. Yeah, no. I think that playing in Serie A for a defender give you something else. I think, but it's just my opinion. This is just my opinion.
It's not just your opinion, Matteo. It's the opinion of all the defenders that come from abroad. They say that they have to study the master of defense in Italy. I agree with you, but let's be honest. Calafiori is nowhere near valued 50 million. That is the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
To be valued 50 million as a defender, you have to be very good at defending. And Calafiori is decent at defending.
At the moment.
The moment. What his main kind of selling card is the way that he conducts the ball, that he creates spaces, that he goes towards the attack. Similar, exactly the same situation with Huijsen. Huijsen is a fantastic controller, builder of opportunities, scores amazing goals. Defensive wise, that kid needs to learn a lot.
The problem, we know what is the problem with Huijsen. He thinks he's already a done player, or maybe not just the kid, maybe the people around him. Yeah. Because we see that. I think he would have benefited so much to go playing for Frosinone last year instead. Well, look, and I understand that it's hard to say no to Mourinho. When a coach like Mourinho is calling you and personally want, but at the end for him, I think the best choice would be to go to Frosinone playing like 20 games over there. At the end of the day, he went to Rome. He played what, 3-4 games.
Didn't benefit from it.
No, exactly. So
we didn't.
Do you think so? Do you think so?
No. He played not many games. Half of those games, he didn't play well. He didn't shine. He didn't show anything. Now we're here talking about him learning how to defend. And so, I mean, didn't show anything. I mean,
to me, he did well. He did well. The Rossi's Roma was way better than Mourinho's Roma, and he was part of it.
He didn't play that much with the Rossi.
I never played with the Rossi.
Right. So.
Come
He never played with the Rossi.
Much with the Rossi. He didn't really play much with them.
He didn't play every game, but he played.
Very few.
No.
And
he played more than Nicolosi Caviglia. He played more than Miretti. He played more than many players that we have in our team.
I don't think so, Billo.
He was more as a sub. He came in as a sub a few games. I don't think so. But again, like the fact that we're here, like even questioning it is because it really didn't show much, you know. So I was like, whoa, Hausen is really what we thought it was. I
You
don't
say he
know.
played 13 games for Roma.
I heard this thing. I don't know if you guys agree, and I want to tell you because they say if we think that 50 million is way too much for Calafiori, and I think everybody agrees here. Okay, how can we say that Huijsen is valued 25-30?
I know that's.
Hey, it's the market, man. If somebody comes to ask if they want to pay for it, is the price you make it because you use what you want to sell it.
They see the potential. Who
Yeah.
understands about players and defenders? I'm sure they see potential. We touched this briefly with Matteo. Like you made a good point. Said he's like 3 years younger than Calafiori. So in 3 years from now, he could be better than Calafiori, right? That's what they're betting on. So that's why it's valued the same. They're both valued 25-30 because Hausen is 3 years younger. So with 3 years of experience under the belt, who knows where it will be, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why.
You know,
I think it also helps with the ego. You know, you think you're Beckenbauer reborn, fine. Your value is 30 million, fine. Let's see if somebody comes asking for you for 30 million.
Exactly.
And then if they don't, then okay, yeah, I guess you have to stay with us and eat some bench, and learn to humble yourself a little bit, which I think he's capable of. I think he's just gotten a little bit too much on his head. I was just looking at the numbers. He in fact played 13 games, but for a total of 521 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, one game he played 12 minutes, another 2. Full 90 minutes, only 2 games.
Right. That's what I remember. It was like all as a sub. He came in as a sub. He didn't do much.
He did
made
score
a couple
2.
of big mistakes also.
He scored 2 goals and 1 assist, and then had a massive error. Can't remember who. Maybe against Lecce, was it? I can't remember. That ball that bounced over his.
Yeah. I do remember.
So,
it was right.
Let me ask you this to Joshua: if somebody comes with 30 million in cash for Hausen or 40 million in cash for Sule, who would you sell?
Can they be separate people and I sell them both?
Just one. If you need to give up one, and those are the numbers.
Hey, I would choose Huijsen because I am better suited up on the defense side than I am on the attack. I'm actually getting a little bit worried that our attack is becoming too flimsy right now.
Why?
Not to say that Keane left and he made the team, but we have, again, we talked about how many games we have to play. We only have Vlahovic. Milik looks like he's heading out. Yildiz, Chiesa, if he stays, who knows? That's it, right? So then you have to bring someone else, and I would keep Sule.
I think the point is, how are we gonna play? Are we gonna play like with the wingers? Or are we gonna play like the 4-3-1-2 with 2 striker? Basically, the point is that because
I don't think Motta even knows right now how he's gonna play.
They can play for
I hope he knows. I hope he had an idea, but I need to tell. You need to tell Giuntoli if he decides, because if you play a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, given that he play with 4 in defense, okay, we need 4/5 wingers, right? Or player that can play the defense. That
I think you need it. I think you need it no matter what, because he's gonna play either 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1.
No, exactly.
With one of the 3 behind Vlahovic.
If he decides to play 4 plus, let me put name over there because we have like a Douglas Luiz, Fagioli, Thuram, and Cop Miners. So we play with I say the rombo, okay? So we play with 2 strikers. At that point, you don't need many wingers.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The point is we don't know.
Yeah, because in the one, the Cambiaso would be one of the 4.
Cambiaso need to be. I know that Cambiaso need to be a fullback.
Nobody's making play that role.
He needs, if you want to have a future.
Nobody's making play that role yet.
Yesterday he played there actually.
Yeah. When he got changed, the poor guy Darmian. Why?
So since you mentioned it, we need to ask. Well, we already talked between us, but Josh. So and yeah, we know you are partially Italian. So what do you think about Italy in the Euro Cup? So we are.
Guys, this is gonna be very unpopular,
Painful.
but I think it wasn't a surprise. I was actually surprised by the people that thought that Italy had a chance to do very well. And it's painful to say it, but I am of the belief that what happens in these tournaments are fruits of labor that has happened many years in the past, right? The federation, the Italian Gioco Calcio Federation, decided to embark in a path of um, persecution, partiality, and corruption about 20 years ago. And we've seen nothing but the impoverishment of the product calcio. And this is just one more example of that. And the fact that after having such a poor showing in the cup, right? After, think about, there are generations of Italian fans that haven't seen the national team in a World Cup.
Yep.
Because it's going to be 10 years this summer that we haven't been in a World Cup. So it might be 12 years before we see Italy in a World Cup. And so it's very painful because, I mean, actually growing abroad, and you guys know it because you're abroad now, but you know, the national team was your safe haven. You know, they talk bad about you because you're Italian or whatever. They talk about you because whatever, right? There's always a lot of friction, especially in Latin American countries, between the Portuguese and the Spanish and the Germans, etc. So Italy was the safe haven, and we were represented well in the international stage. It was a sense of pride, and they've taken that away from Italians, as far as I'm concerned, in the international spectrum, because it was more important to fill their own pockets, promote their own agendas, persecute a team. And I know this is not popular with some people, but persecute a team, benefit another team. And it shows. The fact that you give the bench of your national team to a guy that won one scudetto in his entire career with Napoli in a championship that was anything but regular, right? Because let's not forget that. And you think that he's gonna perform some miracle? That's just being absolutely out of reality. I think the picture that showed at the end of that game with Gravina, Seferin, and La Russa was the perfect encapsulation of the situation. No, it's the perfect picture to just show where we actually are seated as calcio right now. We have been overtaken by corruption and politics, and that is just no good thing in the future. And I was very sad this morning to find out that Gravina went out and said dimisione is a stupid thing, all these crazy excuses, and they confirmed Spalletti. Okay, so we continue to not learn anything. So that's where I am. It's very sad. It's very sad.
So let me ask you this now. Given that all you said is pretty much like straight out of the Bible, I don't think anybody would say there is anything wrong with what you said. What if you look at the coach, if you look at the choices he made and the players he called up, so is there anything that he could have done better with what he was given? Okay, so if all that happened, now that's not the coach's fault, right? So he found himself like a few months ago to make choices with the players that he had.
Agree.
Is there anything that he could have done better?
I think the low-hanging fruit is, if you call up players that are used to playing a certain type of formation, and you know that you don't have that much time to prepare, because that's his own words, then do not impose a style of play that these players have not been playing for the last 365 days. The famous inter-block play with a line of three in the back. The Juventus people also play with a line of three in the back. And when we did that, we looked a little better. I'm not saying we outshone, but the players seemed to be more comfortable. Every time that he insisted on going out with a line of four, it was chaos. So
Even
that would be
you need to have an
my
idea.
simple
You
one.
need to have an idea. And I know Billo have made the same argument, actually, the one you do right now. But at the end, you need to decide. Are we going, because in this Euro competition, I think we switched 2 or 3 times in 4 games between 3 or 4, okay? So we started with 4, we go with 3, we went back to 4. So you need to give like an identity, okay? And then, yes, okay, during the game you can change, because at that level you need to be able to play 3 or 4. I don't think that at that level you need to. But the problem is that the coach, the per se, maybe is not even that responsible for it, because he needs defense. And I really don't want to defend Spalletti. I insult him like for forever. He didn't have much time, because he was appointed September. But the coach it doesn't have the personality to be a leader. And he sure, I think yesterday you were watching the game, and there was a perfect, I think it was Johnny was saying something. There is no sense of urgency. We were down 1-0, 2-0, and we were playing like we were 0-0. So the point is that that is going to change, as we already knew, because nobody quit. So Gravina is the president, is in charge of the Italian Federation for like 6 years right now. I think is 6 years.
6 years.
And in 6 years, he hasn't done nothing. The Italy, we won by miracle Euro Cup, but okay, can we call it a miracle finally? Okay, we missed twice the World Cup, and now we have we basically play around 16, just because at 98 minutes another miracle happened.
I think the situation is a lot more disastrous than people think.
You're right, Giulio.
It's a lot worse. It's a lot worse. As I've always said myself from the beginning, I think this is the worst national team that I've seen in the past 50 years. I said it before the Euro, and now I think we have confirmation that it is. We talk about not going to the World Cup, but don't forget that the 2 World Cups before that, we didn't even make it out of the group stage.
100%.
All right. So we haven't played like a round of 16 in the World Cup since 2006. All right. So it is a bigger problem. Going back to the Euro.
I have long hair, 2006.
You had long hair. You did. I saw some pictures. Going back to this situation, I think it was a mix of mistakes. One was to pick Spalletti. I don't think Spalletti is a good coach for a national team. We were saying this yesterday. Spalletti is a coach that has he needs a lot of time to train his players to play in the way he wants, to do the things he wants, right? So it doesn't seem that flexible, that quick to adapt to the situation, right? He needs to be prepared to all things that get thrown at him, and this type of situations are not a good fit for him. And that's like to give him credit in a way that this is not the best situation to bring out what's best of him. But he brought out what's worst of him, because he's so stuck in what he thinks that we saw Di Lorenzo playing for 4 games straight for 90 minutes. I think it was the worst player of the Euro 24. And I don't know, and any coach would have taken him out after the first game, right? And with him, we saw other situations like that, right? So that's I think, and what you said, stick with the structure. So that's where Spalletti is wrong. But then, guys, we have no attack. Like yesterday, it was when finally a light shone on the field and showed that we have nobody up there that can play at that level. No one. So you can put players how you want. We don't have it. The 2 players that we had, Retegui and Scamacca, might be decent in the long run. Again, if they're trained over and over and over and over about what they need to do with the players they already know, they don't have the talent to make the difference in those games. And yesterday they showed. The first shot was at 73rd minute, was by Retegui. It was like a fart in the hands
73.
of the goal. So we are like beyond, I think, at this point.
But that you raise a very fair point, Julio. You know, when's the last quality forwards that we had?
Balo.
It's not a
Balotelli.
recent phenomena that we don't have
Balotelli.
attacking, players. Balotelli maybe the last one, but even him
Maybe
had his limits.
2012, maybe, but
Right.
but
No, but it's his fault. I'm not saying that I would like to have Balotelli. I say like at the time, 2012, Balotelli was
Yeah,
top.
but that's
But
12
at the time
years
he
ago.
was very good. He was very good, but he decided to not be a soccer player anymore. So it was his fault.
Yeah, but we're talking that the national team that has won 4 World Cup and 2 Euro Cups hasn't had a decent forward in 12 years.
that's crazy.
Yeah, this is why we had to have Retegui because and yesterday showed that even the few minutes he played, he was the only one eating the ball with the head. I don't see Scamacca. I don't remember Scamacca any time make any combination with the head. Retegui, that is smaller, and was next to a Switzerland center back that was taller than him. He was dominating inside the pitch. And he gave a couple of possibilities to Scamacca to score. And Chiesa, my God, guys. Chiesa cannot be that bad. I feel bad for him.
Probably
He
going to
doesn't make the difference. He doesn't make the difference at all.
It's probably
He
And
going
needs
it's
to
been like-
understand he's not a champion. He needs to
He
understand
was
that.
maybe before the injury, but right now he's not. He's
He
not.
was
He's a normal
before-
player. Yeah.
It was before, it was, before like the defenses. So if somebody plays against us, who is the only star? Chiesa. So he has 3 defenders on him now, right? So it was great before that happened, when there was Cristiano Ronaldo doing that for him or somebody. Now he's showing all his limits. His limits are like head down, going straight. But once instead of being 1 against 1, which is what he's good at, there is 2 against him. That's done. Chiesa doesn't know what to do. Stops, goes around, passes the ball, or loses it. That's it. We don't need Chiesa for that.
Can I add a few words about the national team?
Of course.
I think we don't have the talent right now. I heard a lot about Spalletti. He was not somebody makes the difference in positive for us right now. But I think with many other coaches around, they will not have passed the stage that we were right now. No matter what, this is my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
I let you talk. I let you talk. I will tell you
No,
this.
no, no, no.
To me, you can move the players, but at the end of the thing, the strikers we have are those ones. And if you see the other teams, you see Germany, you see Spain, you see England. How much talent they have, guys?
Yeah,
So they let Grealish at home in England. Grealish for us, it will be the star.
Still, with the Leader B
Yeah.
organization, Slovakia basically was
Oh,
up
no.
at 94 minutes, and Georgia is up 1-0 against Spain right now with the Leader bit of organization.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, but they say like with Mancini, basically, is what happened. Italy with organization, the perfect situation with the Vialli. And all the star line because also that. Yeah.
Bonucci.
Exactly, Chiellini, Bonucci, they were the last, and they were like performing great. So Donnarumma, everybody. But let's say that right now we don't have those players. We don't have a defense that can lock and be there and wait. And they never score to you. Yeah, we know we have a goalie that is amazing, but we don't have a defense.
I'm not worried about defense because
I am.
Actually, no, come on. We have the name in the defense, but Donnarumma is
the name,
but that you have like Bastoni is good.
That's
Calafiori
it.
is supposed to be good.
No,
then you have Mancini,
Calafiori,
Buongiorno, Scalvini.
Mancini showed that he
can't.
can't perform at that level.
Okay, Giulio.
That
And
is like Mancini.
At least you have some name to throw over there.
No, the names, yes, but
those are
we don't
names for the bench.
Oh, you don't even have the name for the benefit for the striker.
No, I agree, but like the defenders are a problem too.
No, yeah.
I mean, yesterday,
I'm not
guys,
that
Switzerland
concerned
looked
about
like they were like a
Oh,
Spain.
they always
I mean,
been our stars in history of Italy.
right.
Hmm.
Our best players have always been talking about maybe the year there was Baggio, but in general, Scirea, Baresi, Maldini, Nesta, Cannavaro, man, always best players of Italy being defenders. And right now, you will tell me that Mancini will play for England? No, he will not play for England.
yeah,
He
but
will not
the
even
point-
play for Spain. He will not play for France.
no, you're right
Yeah.
with that. But I mean, say that if we had to go name by name, I'm
Defenders
less
are a
less
bigger
about
problem.
defender than
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
The problem is that right now, because and then we need to go talk about that. When we're mostly at the same age. So Giulio and I am. You're a little younger than us, Billo. And in Italy, we were talking like on the street, on the field, and then now in the last 15, 20 years, we have like I know for a fact that, for example, Venezia youth team. They follow like the Barcelona or the Spanish tiki-taka. Why? We're not down for that. I'm one of the things that everybody like is made by from his background. Okay, so probably we are not as we watching soccer in the last 40 years. Okay, Spain is always more the player with the most skill, like Portuguese. Okay, you know that Argentina player, the one with more grinta. You know the English are more physical. Okay, England when they started wanting to play the soccer, they think they can start. That's shit. Germany went back to be physical at the end. So why we want to copy somebody because we actually everybody want to be Guardiola. There is one Guardiola, and I can make the argument that the Guardiola was super great when we had like Messi.
Even Messi say that.
Messi, Xavi, Busquets.
Messi said that. Yeah.
But yeah.
100%. There are four international global trophies and 2 continental trophies that give you the right, Matteo. All of those trophies. Catenaccio is not a word in Italian that is known globally because of locks. It's known because it has proven successful. The last Euro Cup we also won with Catenaccio. People might not like it, but that's how we won. The famous pull of the shirt by Chiellini. What is that?
But and I can make the argument that they said that Berzotto was super defensive. Okay, the team had like 4 or 5 like really technical and offensive-minded player. Okay, and when we scored the 2-0 against Germany, okay, the player that made the pitch to Tardelli, okay, so the Tardelli scored. We have like up 1-0 where Scirea, Bergomi, and Bergomi.
Yeah.
Passing the ball 3 times in Germany. So yeah, you can play like Catenaccio, but then that is a style to play Catenaccio or like playing the counter attack. Hey, Ancelotti is doing that with Real Madrid and he's winning everything, guys.
Of course.
And I think it's the best player. That's the best way you can have like Bellingham play the game because he needs space, and we show him today that he needs space.
Yeah.
But okay, so guys, we're like on top of the hour. I don't really like to keep more than an hour. So anybody want to add anything?
I would just like to thank you guys for having me over. This has been a lot of fun, good conversation, and hopefully we can repeat it soon. It's been awesome.
You're always welcome here, Josh.
It's a pleasure. And
I would like to add.
Go ahead.
You go.
Oh, I was saying for those that don't know, Joshua is a friend from Pueblo Juve, so go follow them too.
Thank you,
they're like the Spanish. They're like the Spanish community that promotes the Juventus name and brand, and so they're doing an amazing job. So go follow them.
Thank you.
I want to add one thing, one recommendation. When you're over 40, if you go on vacation, you stop completely to go to the gym. It's not a good idea to come back to the gym right away without any training. I almost killed myself today. So.
Well,
at least go for a run once. Go run for one once when you're on vacation, and you come back in a better place. Yeah.
Starting yesterday, man, closer to the 50 than the 40. So it's not a good thing either. So
that's a bad way to end. Okay.
Let's talk shit a little bit on behind the door, guys, a little bit here. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for everything. It was fun, and let's do it again. Josh, you're always welcome here. You're one of us, and really, whenever you want. You're more than welcome here.
Thank you.
Bye guys, and fino alla fine.
Ciao.
Ciao, fino alla fine.